it's very difficult in a medium where you are effectively working for others to retain much, or if any, sense of self-identity and belief, actually, in what you're doing. Circumstances allowed me to do that, and I will make some excuse for that as we go along. But I'm very aware that it's unusual in communications design to feel really any part of the message that you're actually communicating. More often than not, it's what somebody else wants you to say to a specified audience. And, you know, as you all know, the graphic designers, communications designers, branding, whatever you want to call it, that the role is to find the most effective way to deliver that message. And at first, it's quite exciting just to have any work at all. And so one tends not to question the work at the beginning, and also one is lucky to have work. But what I've noticed is that as life goes by, some people, but not everyone, some people do begin to care a bit about what they're saying, what they're delivering, what they're communicating on behalf of others. And it becomes a concern for them and an issue, because in this context of work for others, you can begin to lose any sense of yourself and who you are. And it's not as if the profession is so magnificently rewarding that it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, if you were going to make millions quickly in communication design, as some people in banking do, you could then just retire and live your own life, you know, at 35 or 40, but that's unlikely. So it is quite difficult, and it is an issue, and over the years, I've had conversations and meetings and encounters with a lot of people in graphic design, communications design, advertising, who are sort of lost any sense of who they are, and they're not particularly happy about the messages they're delivering. And so I personally think that it does matter. And the only kind of comment or advice I can give about that at this late time in my life now is that there are issues and things out there which an individual can care about, and there is work to do around those issues, and in my opinion, it's quite important to keep that kind of vocational connection between your career and your life. And that if you feel that you are in a position where you don't care anymore about what you do, or worse, you actually feel quite offended by what you're doing, then I think, you know, you have to try and change that. I mean, it won't change for you. One has to change it oneself. I mean, in a very simple way for myself, when I started out doing record covers at 21, 22 years of age, in the late 70s, record covers were really important to me. music culture was important, and it continues to be important, and the record cover was a fundamental part of that. And doing a record cover at the age of 22 or something is a very exciting and, actually seemed at the time meaningful thing to do. Obviously, as I got older, it lost that sense of significance to me. And, by the time I was already, by my late 20s already, I was kind of growing out of that medium. And had to go and find somewhere else to work. And that has continued all the way through. Almost every decade, I found I've had to kind of look again for the kind of work I wanted to do.